Welcome to the Ad Expert Podcast.
Great to be back.
You know, I was looking at the stack of papers we have for today's deep dive, and it just hit me how incredibly messy modern life is. And I don't just mean my laundry situation, which is a disaster, or my inbox, which is even worse. I mean how we actually buy things.
Oh, it's definitely complex. The days of simply walking into a store, seeing an item, and buying it are, well, they're fading fast in a lot of industries.
Right. I was thinking about the last time I bought something, significant, let's say a new coffee maker.
Yeah.
It wasn't just waking up, walking into a shop, and handing over cash. It was an odyssey.
It was a very fragmented journey, I'm guessing.
Exactly. I tried to reconstruct it. I think I saw an ad on Instagram. I thought, cool, but kept scrolling. Then maybe 3 days later, I remembered the brand, so I Googled it at work.
Okay.
Browsed the site, didn't buy. Then a week after that, I finally get a promo email, click it, and hit buy.
That is a textbook modern consumer path. Classic example.
But here's the million-dollar question for the businesses listening. Who gets the credit? Was it Instagram for starting it all? Was it Google for the research phase? Or the email for closing the deal?
And that is the question that keeps marketing directors up at night. Because if you answer it wrong, you might fire the very ad channel that's actually bringing you all your customers.
And that's exactly what we're unpacking today. We're doing a deep dive into the world of cross-channel attribution. And we're looking at some fascinating data and insights from Ad Expert.
Right. They're a Los Angeles-based online marketing and web development agency.
And what I like about this source material is it isn't just theory. Ad Expert has been serving the LA market for over a decade. They're dealing with real businesses in a super competitive digital landscape.
That gives them a pretty serious pedigree. We're pulling insights from a breakdown by their team, and there are two key figures in the background here. First, Sam Ashrafi.
Right.
He's the founder and marketing strategist. He has over 10 years of experience in local and e-commerce marketing, so he's seen this whole landscape shift.
And then we also have insights from Asa Nabavari. They're expert in SEO and professional analytics.
Which is such a crucial combination. You often have the creative types and the math types, and they don't always speak the same language. Here you have the high-level strategy from Sam and the hard data analytics from Asan. That's the mix you need to solve this.
And the problem, like we said, is that marketing is messy. It's
Yeah.
not a straight line. Ad Expert's whole philosophy is about navigating this with data, not gut feelings.
Precisely. The days of putting up a billboard on Sunset and just hoping for the best are gone. A customer interacts with you multiple times across multiple devices before they ever spend a dime.
So if you don't know which of those interactions move the needle, you're just flying blind.
You're just guessing.
So our mission today is to take the blindfold off. We're going to figure out how to track everything properly, stop guessing where to put your budget, and actually optimize your spend.
We want to move from, I think this ad is working, to, I know exactly how this ad contributed to the bottom line.
I love that. Okay, let's start with the basics. We keep throwing around this phrase, cross-channel attribution. It sounds very corporate, very buzzwordy. What does it actually mean?
Let's just look at the definition in the text. It's the practice of tracking and assigning credit to all the marketing channels a customer interacts with before a conversion.
And a conversion isn't always a sale, right?
Correct. A conversion is whatever your goal is. A purchase, sure, but it could be a newsletter sign up, a form submission, anything.
The key word there seems to be all, assigning credit to all channels. Why is that so important?
Because historically, and honestly even today in a lot of companies, businesses use what's called last-click attribution.
So whatever they clicked right before they bought gets all the credit.
100% of the credit. So if you clicked an email and bought something, the email team gets the win.
Which seems so unfair if I only signed up for the email list because I saw a great YouTube video 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. In that case, the YouTube video did the heavy lifting. It introduced you to the brand, it built trust. The email was just the last door you walked through.
And if you only look at the last click, you'd think that YouTube video is a waste of money.
And you'd cut the budget for video.
And then your email signups would dry up and your sales would crash.
It's like a relay race where you only give a medal to the runner who ran the last 10 meters.
That's a perfect analogy. You fire the first 3 runners because they didn't cross the finish line.
Right. And you're never going to win another race. Cross-channel attribution is all about recognizing that entire customer journey.
I like that term, customer journey. It really is a journey. It's not a teleportation device.
Think of it like a road trip. You stop for gas, you stop for snacks, you maybe look at a map, you finally arrive. If you only credit the last turd you took into the parking lot, you're ignoring hundreds of miles.
And in the digital world, The gas station is Facebook. The map is Google search. The snacks are a display ad on a news site.
And to see all those stops, you need the right tools. The source material mentions things like Google Analytics, CRM systems, and other platforms to get that clear view.
So you're not just looking at your Facebook ad stats in a vacuum. It's about connecting everything.
It has to be unified. The goal, as Sam Ashrafi points out in his article, is to understand the entire journey. Because when you do that, you get 3 massive benefits.
Okay.
Better allocation of resources.
Putting money where it matters.
Lower customer acquisition costs.
Not wasting money.
And smarter data-driven decisions. You stop guessing.
Stop guessing should be the motto for this whole deep dive. It feels like so much marketing is just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
It often is, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay, so we know we need to track the journey. But how do we decide who gets the credit? If I see 5 different ads, how do we slice up that pie?
That's where attribution models come in. These are the frameworks, the rules used to distribute that credit. The source material highlights 3 key models AdExpert uses.
Let's walk through them. Because I feel like picking the wrong one could give you some really skewed data. What's model number 1?
Multi-touch attribution. This one is often seen as the most balanced view. In a multi-touch model, you assign credit to multiple touch points.
So everyone gets a piece of the pie.
In a way, yeah. It reflects reality. It acknowledges that the social posts, the Google search, and the email all played a role. It's the democratic model.
The team sport approach. I like it. It feels fair. But aren't some moments more important than others?
That is the valid counter-argument. And it leads us straight to the second model, position-based attribution.
How does that one work?
Position-based gives more credit to specific positions in the journey, usually the first and the last touch points.
The bookends?
Exactly, sometimes called a U-shaped model. The logic is the first touch point is vital, it's the finder.
And the last one is the closer.
Correct, it triggered the sale. So in this model, you might give, say, 40% of the credit to the first interaction, 40% to the last, and then split the remaining 20% among everything in the middle.
That makes a lot of sense. The thing that caught my eye and the thing that got me to open my wallet, those feel like the big moments.
That's the theory. But there's a third perspective, which is really interesting. Model number 3, time decay attribution.
Time decay. Sounds a little ominous.
It's much less dangerous, I promise. The time decay model just gives more credit to the touch points that happen closer to the conversion.
So an ad I saw on Thursday gets more credit than one I saw on Monday if I buy on Friday.
Exactly. The assumption is that the final interactions had the most influence. The touch points from a month ago have decayed in value compared to the ones that just pushed you over the line.
I can see that working for, like, impulse buys or maybe fashion. We're seeing it right now is what makes me want it.
Or for short sale cycles. Whereas the position-based model might be better for buying a car, where that first introduction months ago was crucial.
So which one is the best? Which one is the gold standard?
The key takeaway from the text is there isn't one perfect model. It requires testing. A business selling $20 sneakers needs a different model than one selling $50,000 consulting packages. You have to align it with your business goals.
So you have to actually think about how your customers buy.
Precisely.
Okay, so we have the theory, we have the models. Let's get practical. If I'm a business owner in LA and I want to start doing this, what do I actually do?
It can get complicated, but Sam Ashrafi's article breaks it down into a pretty clear step-by-step guide.
So, 1.
Define your conversion events.
Sounds simple, but I bet people mess it up.
All the time. You have to know exactly what you're tracking. A purchase, a form submission. You can't track success if you haven't defined it.
Can't score a goal if you don't know where the net is.
Exactly. Step 2, choose a model. Pick one of the 3 we discussed that seems to fit your sales cycle best. Don't stress about it being perfect. Just pick a logical starting point.
And step 3.
This is the heavy lifting. Integrate data.
This is where Asan, the analytics expert, comes in.
Yes, this is the technical hurdle. You have to connect all your sources, paid ads, organic search, social media, email, into one unified system.
Because if they don't talk to each other,
then you can't do cross-channel attribution. You just have piles of disconnected numbers. You'll see a click here and a sale there, but you won't know it's the same person.
And that's where a lot of businesses hit a wall, right? It's not always just plug and play.
It can be very challenging. And this is actually where AdExpert highlights a specific capability they offer. They call it real-time marketing insights with live tracking.
I saw that. They called it a bird's eye view.
Which is a great way to put it. Most agencies send you a report at the end of the month saying, here's what happened 30 days ago.
Which is like driving while only looking in the rearview mirror.
Exactly. By the time you get the report, the budget is gone. Live tracking lets you optimize on the fly. If you see on Tuesday that an ad is failing, you can cut the budget on Wednesday.
That speed seems critical, especially in a competitive market like Los Angeles.
It is, and that leads to another key part of the how-to. It's not just about your own data. AdExpert emphasizes combining your past data with competitor analysis.
Spying on the neighbors.
In a professional sense, yeah. Knowing where they're winning or maybe where they're neglecting their audience helps you find the gaps.
Okay, this is all great. But why should a business owner really care? Is this just for data nerds, or does it actually change the bank account?
This is the strategic impact, and there's a fascinating stat in the FAQ section of the source material that drives this home. They call it the 1% rule.
The 1% rule, what's that?
It states that, on average, only about 1% of your audience will take action right away.
Only 1%. So if I show my ad to 100 people, 99 of them do nothing. That's depressing.
Immediately, yes, but they're not lost causes. The other 99% need nurturing. They're interested, but they're not ready yet.
Ah, okay. I see where this is going.
This is why attribution matters. If you only look at the 1% who buy immediately, using that old last-click method, you might think your introductory ads are failing. You'd say, hey, nobody bought from this brand awareness ad, let's kill it.
But if you do that,
you stop feeding the funnel. You don't realize that failed ad actually started the conversation for 500 sales that happened 3 weeks later.
Wow, that's huge. You'd be sabotaging your own future sales without even knowing it.
Exactly. It completely changes how you view ROI and budget. You can cut money from channels that are truly dead and pour it into the ones that are actually working over time.
It's like gardening. You don't stop watering a plant just because it didn't bloom 10 seconds after you planted it.
Perfect analogy. And this also touches on the balance between paid and organic channels.
Right, because AdExpert does both SEO and ads.
And you have to track both. They work together. A customer might click an ad, leave, and then search for you organically later. If you don't rank, you lose them.
Or they read a blog post from SEO and then get retargeted by an ad.
If you treat them as separate silos, you miss the synergy. It's about 1 + 1 = 3. And understanding this whole journey allows for personalization.
How so?
When you know where a customer is in their journey, you can refine your messaging. You don't show a hard sell buy now ad to someone who just walked in the door.
You show them learn more.
But for someone who has visited 5 times and put an item in their cart, you show them a discount code.
So right message, right time.
Which significantly increases your conversion chances.
This all sounds incredible, but I have to play devil's advocate. This sounds like a lot of data. A massive, overwhelming amount.
It would be impossible for a human to process manually, which is why the conversation has to pivot to technology, specifically AI.
AdExpert mentions using innovative AI solutions. What are they actually using it for?
They list 3 main areas: customer targeting, personalized campaigns, and advanced analytics. The AI is doing the number crunching.
It's finding the patterns a human would miss.
Exactly. It's not just a buzzword. It's an efficiency tool. It allows for what AdExpert calls continuous optimization. They're constantly running A/B tests.
Testing 2 versions to see which wins.
Yes. And with AI and live tracking, you can constantly test your tactics, even your attribution models, to ensure you're getting the best results based on what the data says today, not last year.
You know, we've covered a lot of ground. We started with the messiness of my shopping habits.
Which are very relatable.
And we've moved all the way to AI-driven attribution models.
It's quite a progression.
Looking back, we've moved from the old way guessing which ad worked to a new way of tracking the full narrative.
Using frameworks like multi-touch, position-based, or time decay to give credit where it's actually due.
It seems like the Mad Men style of marketing, where you just have a brilliant idea and hope it sells, is kind of over.
The creativity is still essential. You need a good ad, but it's now backed by science. And that leads to a final insight from the AdExpert philosophy. Data is only valuable when it's applied.
A report sitting in a drawer is useless.
Right. They talk about building long-term partnerships. That's a core value. The reason is that data accumulates value over time. The more you work with a partner who understands your history, the better the insights get.
It's a relationship, not just a transaction.
Exactly.
Before we wrap up, I have a thought I want to throw out there. It's been spinning in my head since we talked about the 1% rule.
Let's hear it.
We have all this tech, live tracking, AI. We can see every click and hover. We're getting really, really good at predicting what people will do.
We are. The tools are incredibly powerful.
But does that mean we can eventually predict human behavior 100%? Or will that human element, that unpredictable 99% who might buy because of a mood or a conversation with a friend, will that always remain a bit of a mystery?
That is the ultimate question. We can track the what and the when, but the deep why of human psychology. That might always be the wild card that keeps this whole thing interesting.
Something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.